What is up, everyone? It's Quinn here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going through my Week 3 top 20 tight end rankings. Already posted the quarterbacks today. Defenses will be out later, but let's just dive right into the rankings. And honestly, through 2 weeks, the tight end position is already feeling kind of sketchy, but now with these tier 1 guys, still going with Brock Bowers and Trey McBride. Now, Bowers didn't look great on Monday Night Football. He was banged up throughout the week, didn't log a ton of practice, and he certainly didn't look like he was 100%, but he still commanded 7 targets, 5 receptions for 37 yards. It's obviously not what you're expecting out of him, but as he continues to get more and more healthy, I still am going to have him here at the top spot. I do just think he has the highest ceiling at the tight end position. And then for Trey McBride, he's had a fine start to the season. Nothing crazy, but he's going to be a focal point of this Cardinals passing attack. He's going to command volume. Still like him here in tier 1. Now moving into tier 2, starting off with tier 2, I actually did consider bumping Tyler Warren up into tier 1. I couldn't quite get there, but he's been awesome through 2 weeks. He is the tight end 4 in points per game. He is tied for 3rd at the tight end position in targets. He is leading all tight ends in receiving yards. He has had a huge role in this Colts offense. As a rookie tight end, you think he could just continue to improve throughout the season. So if you drafted Tyler Warren, you have to be feeling great about it. He has been an absolute beast to start off the season, which is why he is my tight end 3. After Warren, I have back-to-back tight ends from the same division in Sam Laporta and Tucker Kraft, and I kind of feel like these guys are similar bets. You're not starting them because you think they're going to command a lot of volume. They're good tight ends on very good offenses who do have a lot of touchdown upside. For Sam Laporta, I do think this is going to be a pass-heavy game script against the Ravens. They're 5.5-point underdogs. We know Sam Laporta is always going to be a threat to get into the end zone, and if the passing volume's there, maybe that helps his floor out a little bit. And then for Tucker Kraft, he is coming off a monster week 2, 7 targets, 6 receptions for 124 yards and a touchdown. It does seem like this could be a breakout year for him. Year 3, already looking great. He is my tight end 5. Then I'd, be pretty shocked if I knew I was ranking this guy number 6 heading into the season. I have Juwan Johnson as my tight end 6. His usage has just been amazing. He is pretty much out there on almost every single snap. He is running a route on nearly every single drop back. And through 2 weeks, he is the tight end 2 in points per game. He is 1st in targets. He is a big part of the Saints passing attack, and just based on the usage, the volume, it's tough to not have him here with these tier 2 guys. Maybe doesn't, have the same touchdown upside as like a Laporta or a Kraft, but it does seem like he is a more established like target floor, week to week. Now moving into tier 3, kind of an interesting tier here. Going to start off with Jake Ferguson. His production hasn't been crazy, but the volume has been there. He's 2nd in targets. I do think this could be a high-scoring game, so potential touchdown upside. I like the volume we've seen so far here. He is tight end 7 going up against the Bears. Then I have Travis Kelce. It's been a disappointing start to the season. I wasn't super in on Kelce. He was not one of those mid-round tight ends I liked. But I still thought, especially with the Rashee Rice suspension, Xavier Worthy going down, that he'd at least be commanding a little bit more volume early on in the season. Through 2 weeks, he has 10 targets, 6 receptions, 108 yards, and a touchdown. Now, week 2 could have been a lot better if he caught that ball like right on the goal line, ends up, dropping it. It turns into a pick. But it just hasn't looked great with Kelce. We might be getting Worthy back this week, which I think, could also hurt the volume for Travis Kelce. So he's still going to be a tight end 1 just because this is a pretty good passing attack. They do need someone to do something offensively, but it's tough to feel super excited about Kelce at this point. And then as my tight end 9, I have Zach Ertz. He's had a strong start to the season. He is the tight end 3 through 2 games. Now, admittedly, a lot of that has to do with him getting into the end zone twice. That's, not something that a lot of these other tight ends have done, but still, he's going to be on a good offense. He's going to have that touchdown upside, and he has been pretty involved to start off the season. Then someone who I love to have in my top 10, Kyle Pitts, going up against the Panthers this week. He's commanded 13 targets through 2 weeks. He is the tight end 11 in points per game, despite not getting into the end zone. It's looking like we could have a pretty solid season here out of Kyle Pitts. And then the last guy in this tier is going to be Dallas Goedert. He missed week 2 with a knee sprain. If he does play, this is kind of the production he's going to give you. Back-end tight end 1, high-end tight end 2, like that fringe tight end 1 range. You're just kind of hoping this Eagles passing attack can get something going. He had a fine week 1 just based on volume, but it has been tough sledding for these Eagles pass catchers. Now, looking at tier 4, I'm going to start off this tier with TJ Hawkinson, and he's just been straight up brutal through 2 weeks, 4 receptions for only 27 yards. Now, the passing attack has not looked good. JJ McCarthy has looked rough. I do think it's, very possible that Carson Wentz is a solid upgrade, at least in the short term with McCarthy with his ankle injury, just to get some of these, top weapons for the Vikings the ball. So I do think he's going to be better than what he looked like in week 1 and week 2, but it's still tough to get super excited about him, just given all the injuries to this Vikings offense. After Hawkinson, I'm going to go with Harold Fannin Jr. Big fan of him. He's had a really strong start to the season, still not getting the same snaps and routes as David Njoku or some of these other top tight ends, but he's had back-to-back solid games. Week 1, 7 receptions for 63 yards. Week 2, 5 for 48. He's a talented player. He's a rookie tight end producing right away. Definitely someone who I think is going to be fun for fantasy and will probably just continue rising in my rankings if he continues to log these strong performances. Then at tight end 14, I have Dalton Kincaid. Nothing crazy to start off the season, but he is going to have a lot of touchdown upside on one of the best offenses in the NFL. Tight end 15, I have Hunter Henry. Rough week 2. I still think he's kind of, a safety blanket for a young quarterback in Drake May. Going to command decent volume week to week, even though week 2, was not his best showing. And then in the 5th and final tier, I'm going to start off with David Njoku. I think Njoku's a really talented player, but he has been outproduced in back-to-back weeks by Harold Fannin. They're using Fannin creatively. This was a concern I had with David Njoku, where it's like they announced Joe Flacco was going to be the starter, and it's like, all right, wheels up for Njoku. He had that monster stretch in 2023 with Flacco as the quarterback. But then you saw the preseason usage, and Harold Fannin looked like he was going to be, a real factor in this offense. And that has seemed to hurt David Njoku at this point. So he's my tight end 16. From a fantasy perspective, it does seem like he is the tight end 2 on this Browns roster. Then as my tight end 17, I have Mark Andrews, and he's actually a really interesting player to look at because through 2 weeks, he has been completely useless for fantasy. He's been targeted 4 times. He has 2 receptions for 7 yards. He literally has done nothing for you in your lineups. But when I looked back to last year, it was actually kind of a similar story where if you guys remember, Mark Andrews, people were dropping him after the first 3-4 weeks of the season. He was truly terrible. Weeks 1 through 4, he averaged 3.1 PPR points per game. And then rest of season, he got hot, averaged 13.6. So I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen this year, but I also wouldn't completely give up on him. I want to even say week 3 and 4, he might have logged goose eggs in both of those games last year. And so obviously it's not great. You don't feel amazing starting him, but all hope is not lost. He could turn it around like we saw last season, but it's also unfortunate. This should have been the spot where he has a strong start to the season with Isaiah likely out, and that just has not been the case so far. Tight end 18, I have Brenton Strange. Fine usage, decent production through 2 weeks, but not someone who I'm super excited about starting at this point in the season. He's like a mid-tier tight end 2. Then I have Jatavian Sanders coming off a strong week 2, 9 targets, 7 receptions for 54 yards. We'll see if he can build on that moving forward. And then pretty depressing here at number 20, Evan Ingram was one of those mid-round tight ends that I did like heading into the season. He's been terrible through 2 weeks. I mean, the usage has just been really, really bad. He's barely hitting a 50% route participation. If that does not switch up, he's just not going to be playable for fantasy, which is tough. But that is going to wrap it up for my top 20 tight ends. If you guys enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe, questions, comments, drop them down below. Thank you all for stopping by, and I will see you in the next one.